Picture this, it's Friday at 5 p.m. and you're still sitting in a conference room watching your project manager have a complete breakdown over an Excel spreadsheet that just crashed for the third time. Does that sound familiar? Well, that was my life every single week for 2 years. If you think managing multiple construction projects is just about keeping track of what comes next, you're about to learn why most contractors spend their weekends in planning hell. Let me show you the weekly nightmare that almost made me quit the business. I'm Gustav. For over a decade, I've been that guy juggling 5 remodeling projects at once, trying to keep track of crews, deadlines, and an endless question of whether everyone will actually have work to do next week. These days, instead of spending my Friday evenings crying into Excel spreadsheets, I focus on building tools that prevent scheduling disasters. I've suffered through enough planning meetings to last for 3 lifetimes. Let me paint you a picture of what passes for project planning in most construction companies. You've got 10 active remodels, 6 different trades, and absolutely no idea if your electrician is triple booked while your painter sits at home playing video games. When something inevitably goes sideways, materials are delayed, weather hits, client wants changes, you're scrambling to figure out who goes where and when while your entire crew burns billable hours waiting for answers. Most contractors accept this chaos as just part of the business, but it's not. It's just part of having terrible systems. Want to know what my Friday afternoons used to look like? Well, pure torture. Picture this. 5 of us crowded around the laptop, staring at this massive Excel spreadsheet that was supposed to show who was working where for the next week. The file was a monster. Hundreds of rows, color-coded cells, formula that nobody really understood but were too scared to delete. We'd spend hours trying to move people around, checking availability, making sure Project A didn't steal resources from Project B. And every single time someone tried to edit a cell while someone else was typing, the whole thing would freeze. It was like watching a slow-motion car crash every single week. And then Monday would roll around. Reality would hit. Someone calls in sick, materials are delayed 2 days, client decides they hate the tile choice and wants to start over. Back to the Excel sheet, back to the same chaos, back to 5 grown adults having existential crisis over a spreadsheet cells. The breaking point came when we spent 3 hours on a Friday planning the perfect week only to have it completely fall apart by Tuesday morning. We ended up with 2 crews showing up to the same job site and nobody at the third project. You know what the crazy part was? We weren't lazy. We were actually trying to be organized. We knew planning mattered, but we were managing million-dollar projects with tools designed for shopping lists. The fundamental problem wasn't our work ethic or even our knowledge. It was that we had zero visibility into what was actually happening. When materials were late on one job, we couldn't visualize how that delay would ripple through 4 other projects. We were like air traffic controllers trying to manage multiple flights with no radar, just hoping nobody would crash into each other. That disaster taught me something crucial. You can't manage what you can't see. Now I can look at one screen and see every project, every employee, every deadline for the next month. Visual timelines showing exactly when each phase happens. Clear view of who's working where and when. Instant updates when something changes. Drag and drop to reschedule. Connected tasks that move together automatically. Does that sound too good to be true? Well, maybe. But I haven't had a Friday afternoon meltdown since I started doing it. And the best part? My team actually looks forward to planning meetings now. They can see their work, understand the timeline, and know exactly what's expected. No more guessing games. You don't need fancy software to start improving. First, stop using shared Excel files for live planning. Seriously, just stop. There are plenty of planning tools out there, you don't have to use ours. Second, map out your critical dependencies. What has to happen before what, and write it down. And third, build buffer time into everything. If you think a task takes 3 days, plan for 3.5. Murphy's Law is real in construction. And listen, you can keep torturing yourself and your team with Friday afternoon Excel sessions, or you can admit that there's got to be a better way. Those weekly planning disasters taught me that hope is not a scheduling strategy. You need systems that actually show you what's happening before it becomes a crisis. If you're sick of flying blind and want to see your projects clearly without the weekly headaches, hit subscribe. Because nobody should have to spend their weekends fixing preventable scheduling disasters.